What's up, YouTube? Good morning, everyone. Scary moment yesterday. So basically, I've been posting on YouTube, Instagram, everything else. And yesterday, I started getting subscribers on Instagram that were my friends. Now, the whole time, my plan was basically like, don't let any of my friends see this. uh, because some of them are my colleagues, and I don't want my colleagues to know that I'm basically working on this thing on the side. And it turns out, like, apparently when you scroll through Instagram, my account has been recommended all week to people I know. So I had to like basically shut that down, make it private, and take off like the authentication badge and all of this stuff. So no more Instagram. But that got me thinking. I think today what I wanted to talk about is what I'm learning about social media reach, the different channels, YouTube, X, and all that. And then I'll probably end it with a market update for those, who care about investing and trading, because yesterday it was such a down day. So I'll talk a little bit about what I see and how I'm using TradingPal to look at the market in a situation like this. Okay. As always, let's start off with how many users. We had past 7 days, we had 52 users. Yesterday was 10, and I think today so far 5, which is not bad. One thing that I realized is when I looked at like how many are arriving on the desktop versus mobile, a lot of my shorts are all mobile, and I really didn't put much effort at all on the mobile experience. And so I'm not surprised at all that these people who are like checking out the site on mobile are gonna be like, what the heck is this? And they're never coming back. So I think that's good, because that's good, I guess, because it means that it's not so much, at least for those folks, a like product quality issue. It means that I need to better make this whole charting app a little bit more useful on the mobile, which is a little bit hard to imagine. Charting maps on the mobile is more like you check all the trend lines you've drawn, but we'll figure it out. Another thing that I've been thinking about, yesterday there was a podcast from this guy from Gamma. He's really helpful, actually. So he created like a Google Slides AI thing and grew it 2 years to like a lot of millions of users. And one thing that he talked about in the podcast was the idea that it really comes down to when a user lands on your site, within the first 30 seconds, do they have a good experience such that they not only come back, but they tell a friend? And I thought that's really insightful, because let's say I try really hard to go get 100 users, and then like 10% of them, 10 of them use the site, but none of them tell their friends about it, or none of them come back. Then I really need to pump up, like I need to keep getting 100, right? Versus if I get like 20, 5 of them check it out. For every 5, they're telling another 3, and those people are telling some more people. So then you're getting like not a viral effect, but you're getting word of mouth spread, and that makes it a lot easier. So I think I need to focus a little bit more on the onboarding experience, like really showcasing what is the value of this thing. I don't even tell people to hover over a line or click on a line to see what it means. I just assume that if you're like a trader, you're gonna know immediately what this thing is. But I think I need to guide better. But also, I just don't have enough like premium features, so I also need to build that. I don't know which one comes from. Maybe the premium features first, and then we'll work on onboarding. Okay, let's talk about the different channels. I think what I'm learning on YouTube is that the number of views is all over the place. Like on videos that I thought were pretty good, I'm getting like 20, and then some random video that I didn't think much about are getting like hundreds. And sometimes it seems to be oscillating between like shorts and long form. Like the same video, my shorts is getting hundreds, but then the long form isn't. And for me, obviously, I want long form because it's all desktop. I'd rather have a few hundred desktop views. And one thing that I learned is that you're not supposed to look at your video after you upload it, and you're not supposed to touch the description at all, because every time you touch the title or description, it needs to recalibrate. It basically starts over the algo. I didn't know that. I've been like tweaking the title whenever it seems to be struggling on all of the ones that are performing bad. In fact, the ones that are performing good, I like didn't touch them at all. Something there. TikTok, Instagram have not worked out so far. I guess I'm not dancing enough. Uh, maybe they like full body shots, some thirst traps. I don't know. But yeah, I think YouTube is the only one that's like working out. So maybe that's the channel that I double down on. Instagram's gone now. So I got, and then there's X. X doesn't really like shorts. I'm finding out. X doesn't really like anything. I feel like it really likes like texts that are controversial, replies to comments. Like I've gotten more subscribers from just like replying to other people's threads than I've gotten by posting my own stuff. Particularly if they're like looking at a chart and I'm like, well, did you see this trend line? A lot of people don't see it because they don't have the software, TradingPal, and then they open my link and then see what I'm talking about and they subscribe to me. I think that's probably better and lower effort. So I'm gonna keep doing that. Okay, that's all I wanted to share there for those of you who are founders or who just wanted to follow a startup journey. I did want to, for those of you who are investors and traders, I did want to talk a little bit about the market. So let's go take a look at TradingPal for what's going on in this down market. All right, for those of you who are new, this is tradingpal.io, the site that I'm creating, or the app that I'm creating for traders who love trend lines. Let's take a look at the broad market SPY, right? Yesterday we had this really ugly candle and I think everyone on social media was freaking out. But if you look at the app, it's picking up so many green lines over here. These are support lines, right? So we can take a look at a couple of examples. This one. Recently, every time this thing touches, we bounce back. Previously, every time the market touched this line, it bounced down. And then recently, once it got over, every time it touches it, it bounces up. This means that this basically used to be resistance, now has become support, and a pretty strong support. Right? And then this morning, we're like slightly above it, maybe just by $3. There are so many of these examples. I think the ones that I bookmarked was this one. This is from 5 years ago. 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at how many. These are very strong support lines. You have to go through bricks over here before we say, okay, the market is really in trouble. If we do break it down, so I don't think it's gonna. If we do break down, where does it even go? The next zone's like all the way over here. We're talking another 5%, 6% loss. You need a catalyst for that kind of down market because we have already fallen, looks like 5%, right? From here, we've already fallen 5%. So if you're gonna go into a correction, another 5%, just feels like you gotta have a catalyst. All right, next, I just want to take a look at our trade, our first trade, CrowdStrike. I know that I should be posting a lot of these trades, but I can only build, make videos, or trade. And it's like I can't do all three. So right now I just did one. Here's where we entered, right? Like 545. And then we put the stop loss at 500 when we give up. It's currently at 520. It was working out a little bit, but unfortunately, the past 3 days came down here. It hasn't hit our stop loss yet, which is good. I think that one thing is, you see how there are no resistance up here. That I'm really happy about. So I still think that this is going to work out, assuming that the market bounces over here. Now, if we get unlucky and the market is just going to keep going down, then I think this trade might be lost, but I think we're going to bounce up here. If anything, this has shown relative strength, right? Like when the market was going down so hard, this thing wasn't going down all that much. Once it breaks, I think this line, which now has 4 touch points recently, there's nothing beyond it. So we're good to go. So that's what I'm still betting on. The patterns are very in our favor in terms of cup handles and all of the bullish patterns. We'll see. If I lose it, y'all gonna know. Unfortunately, it's like our first trade, so I don't want that to happen. It'd be nice to make a video say, hey, we won on our first trade. But with these things, even if you get like a 50 to 60% win rate, that's like really good, right? What we talked about yesterday. because for every win, you're winning twice as much for every loss. So you're going to be profitable. I just don't want the first one to be a loss. All right, that's all I got for you today. I am not touching the title or the description or watching my own video today. And let's see if this thing goes more than 20 views. All right, guys, appreciate you watching. See you tomorrow. Bye.